these are the new makeup releases for February 2026. Welcome to everyone watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today I'm going to chat to you about the new makeup releases that have been announced, and as I have predicted, we have a lot of new things that are coming. Before I forget though, I would like to tell you that today, on the day that you're watching this video, is the new MONOLITH drop. So in case you were looking for any newness and you're in the EU, they do ship to other places as well, but I think for EU customers, they are like the best way to get your hands onto some indie makeup. They have a lot of new products coming in today. So today, I think at 10:30 Central European time is when their new launch will be. So if you were looking to pick up some indie brands, then maybe have a look over there. I'll make sure to put the link to the MONOLITH website in the description box down below, so it's easy for you to find. And be aware that my code is currently not active. If you want to get 5% off of your next order with my code, which I'll pop on the screen right here, then you need to wait until Wednesday, because that's when it will be reactivated. They always deactivate our codes around the new sale, so a couple of days before the sale, and then until a couple of days after the sale, and usually it resets again on Wednesday. So if you can try to be patient and you want to get 5% off of your order, you're going to have to hang tight. But there's loads of new things actually coming in, and I did receive some other things again in PR by them. So you'll see that on Saturday, what I received and what I will be playing with. But there was quite a bit of eyeshadow that has come in the past couple of months, so I'm going to have to put a couple of things on the back burner. I already mentioned in another video, I currently have enough palettes to try until like almost April, I think. So before you see any of this in a review, it could take a while, just so you know. But yeah, if you were looking to buy anything new, know that MONOLITH is dropping a huge drop. I think it's their first drop of 2026. So just wanted to let you know. So now I'm not sure whether I actually mentioned this like in January or not, but it could be that I found this a little bit later. But MAC has launched a new Powder Kiss formula. So this is a formula they already did, but MAC has been revamping their lipstick ranges slowly but surely over the past couple of years. First they did their mattes, then their satins, and now they've reformulated the Powder Kiss. It comes in 24 shades now. And some of my favorites have been discontinued. Stay Curious, which is one of the ones that I have, is still in here. But I also have Lasting Passion, which is like a really nice pinky, like a pinky red. And that name I cannot see in the list anymore. So that's a bit of a shame. But yeah, I do like a lot of the reformulated MAC lipsticks. I have a couple of the ones of both the satin as well as the matte range. What I don't love about the new formula is that the packaging is bigger and a little bulkier than it used to be. So it's still the same shape. It still looks and feels and smells like a MAC lipstick does, if you're familiar with MAC lipstick smells, or like the scent, that nice like hint of vanilla. It still has that, but it's just that the bullets are larger and slightly thicker, so I feel I now can fit fewer in my MAC lipstick drawer than I had expected. But yeah, I've slowly been rebuilding my MAC lipstick collection in the past 2 years as well. Not because they reformulated, but because I had quite a few of my MAC lipsticks that were like 15 years old that had just expired. And I was missing some shades in my makeup collection after having had to declutter them. So I have been repurchasing some things. I've been trying some other things because my tastes have changed as well. So I'm here for the new MAC lipstick launches. I think it's a good thing that they're doing this. When I look at all the shades that they're doing, that I do feel that it's perhaps a lot of nudes and brown tones. Like, where are the fun shades? You know what I mean? But MAC still does very fun shades. Like, they still do a bright purple and things like that as well. So MAC, I feel, is one of the very few brands that does like a really good array of different shades as well, with like different undertones and things. So yeah, I haven't seen these in store yet, so I don't need these particularly because the Powder Kiss formula isn't my favorite. I still just really prefer the matte and satin ranges from MAC. But in case you want something that's a little bit more blurry looking on your lips, then this can be a nice one. Valentino has a new limited edition collection, the Blue Spike collection. We all know how I feel about these super ultra luxury brands. They are not really for me. I feel that if you're a true fan of these brands, whether it's a Prada, an Hermes, or a Valentino, that's why you can like try to experiment to see what's there. But I just find that these are just overpriced and you pay for the name more so than the product. Then this was actually something that was recommended to me by one of my followers. I've forgotten your name, but you're Resting Witch Face on Instagram, and I follow you on there, and you always do amazing looks. And you love your spooky themed palettes. And here's a brand that I haven't really tested out much in recent years, but V Cosmetics has revamped their Grimoire palette. So I used to own the original to this. It had some weird pressed glitters in though, and it wasn't my favorite formula. I kept the black like shimmer that was in there for a long time in one of my Colourpop palettes that I repressed. But this is the new take on the Grimoire palette, and she sent this to me and I was like, oh, this looks really, really stunning. It's sort of like cool tone, but then it has green. And I feel like with cool tones, we often get them mixed in with blue tones or purples. But with greens, and then for instance with this really nice mustard yellow in the middle, it really does pull on my heartstrings. But I just told you in a different video that I currently am in the possession of plenty of eyeshadow palettes to be reviewing for you in the next couple of months. So this is something that I'm going to be putting on the wish list. And then, like, by the time April, May rolls around and this is still in stock and available, then I will probably be buying this. It's just that currently I've received some palettes again from MONOLITH. My MONOLITH order that I placed in their December drop has finally arrived. And then they also included 2 palettes that they sent to me in PR in January. I've received more PR from YESSTYLE. I've received PR from another brand that I'm really excited to share with you. So one of their releases is coming up, so I'll tell you about it in a second. So I've come by no fault other than the fact that I'm making these videos because I didn't pay for all of those with my own money. I've come into additional like 8 or 9, maybe 10 palettes that were all sent to me all of a sudden. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to like try to find time to test those out before I really want to get anything new. And of course, like MONOLITH is having their drop today. I don't know when their next drop is going to be, but they are still sending me things in PR, so I think that that's still gonna happen this year. And I don't want to, like, if I already know that they're gonna send me stuff as well, then it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to also be buying a ton of stuff. So I could get this now, but then it would just be sitting there until like May before I can test it out. And I would feel bad about it. I don't want to get people's hopes up, like showing it in a haul and then people have to wait 3 months for me to showcase it in a review. I'm not about that life. Like, I'm a slow reviewer as it is because I want to give all my makeup like a really good chance before I move on to something else. Very often I find, especially with eyeshadow reviews, that people don't test out every single eyeshadow pan in the palette. They just like do one look and then they give you their thoughts, and I'm not about that life. I want to make sure I test out every single pan of eyeshadow and then I move on to the next palette, and I want to go on and try palettes again that I've loved in the past and that are firm favorites, but that I just want to do more looks with. And that's not possible if I am bringing in too many new things. So I'm going to put this one on hold, and if it's still around a couple of months down the line, we all know this is very on brand for me. So I know that for my viewer, it doesn't make much of a difference whether I'm trying it now when it's brand new or when I'm like testing it out a couple of like months down the line. So yeah, this V Cosmetics palette looks absolutely beautiful. I think it's great that they're keeping the Grimoire thing alive, because I think that whole like spellcraft sort of witchy vibe that they have going on really goes well with the brand. And I haven't seen much by them in the past couple of years that has truly excited me. But when you sent me this picture through Instagram and it tagged me in it, I was like, oh, I need that at some point in my life. But not right now, because we've got enough. You'll see in my haul, it's going to go up on Saturday. I've received so much in PR that I'm like, where do I even start? So you'll see. That video is coming on Saturday. ABH has a new eyeshadow stick. I think it makes sense for them, but is it just me? Or is Anastasia Beverly Hills starting to look like every single brand out there? To me, they certainly are. So it makes sense for the brand. I don't think they've really done an eyeshadow stick yet before. But yeah, I don't really need this. And here is the thing that I am excited for, because this is a collection I received in PR. So I did already share a picture on my community tab about this. There is a code, which I'll pop in the description box down below, and I'll put it in the screen here. The code is valid until the end of March, and you can get a little bit of money off if you buy anything from this collection. So if you were looking into the SpongeBob collection from Lethal Cosmetics, then just so you know, there's definitely something there. They sent me quite a few of the products, so I'll showcase them, including all of the swatches in my Saturday video that's gonna go live. But yeah, this is one of the brands that you guys also said you would like to see me test out more of. And then right around Christmas time, they sent me an email saying like, hey, would you like to receive some of our things? I was like, ooh, that's exciting, because I've only ever, like, I've tried some other things from Lethal. I had some liquid shadows. I think I've tried a lip gloss or two, but I mainly have tried their Freedom system, you know, where you could build your own palettes. Not sure if they still do that, but Lethal has gone through a major rebrand in the past year, and they've been doing loads of different things. And now they've sent me 2 of their full collections that they've launched in like the past 2 months. So I'm like, okay. It took a while for the packages to get here. That was the only downside with the bad weather we've been having and stuff. So it took a while to get here, which is why I wasn't able to showcase it yet in January. But yeah, so know that there is Lethal PR here, and I will be testing it out soon. We have some new matte bronzing powders by Rare Beauty, and you know, I love me a bit of Rare. I think their complexion products, especially like the things on the cheeks, are some of the things they do really well. And they now have a powder bronzer. This is probably gonna sell out super quickly though when it hits the European market. So I'm not sure when I can try this, but I definitely have a couple of trips planned for this year where I will have access to Rare Beauty, and if I can swatch this in store and see what shade might be right for me. Judging by the swatches, it's probably going to be the lightest one, which is called Summer Feels. And then I'm going to see what the formula is like. I haven't tried too many powder cheek products from Rare. They've only started launching them recently, I feel. So I definitely have to have like a good look at what they're doing. And yeah, this powder bronzer I think looks really exciting. I'm currently not really in the market for a new bronzer though, so that's why again this one is on hold. It's really dependent on, can I find Rare Beauty in store? Can I go out and swatch some of this? Can I see what the shade is like, what the formula is like, and then decide, is this for me? And then I might purchase it. But with the way things go with Rare Beauty, whenever they have a new launch, it can take a little while for it to come to Europe. And then when it comes to Europe, I feel that it's very limited quantities and it sells out super quickly. And then it takes like 6 months for them to restock something. So it could be a while. It could be a while. Laura Mercier has a new tinted Blur Balm skin tint. Where have you seen products like this again? Oh yeah, Danessa Myricks. It almost feels like Laura Mercier now has the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin sort of vibe here. Not sure I needed this at all. Like, I would at some point like to try the Danessa Myricks one, but again, talking about a brand that is consistently sold out from the places where I can buy it, it's that one. So yeah, this looks nice. I haven't seen too many new things coming out of Laura Mercier for a while, and this is the first time in a long time where I was like, that could be interesting. So, a nice job there. This was something that someone mentioned actually in a recent video of mine, and I just wanted to share it here. But Adept Cosmetics has changed their shipping fulfillment center. So if you now buy through the official Adept website, they ship it directly for a lot of countries from their Chinese warehouse, which greatly cuts down on shipping and handling fees. Now you do have to be aware, if you are in the EU like I am, it's a little bit up in the air currently, but there is going to be a flat fee per product in a package from summer onwards for customers who buy anything from outside the European Union. And it doesn't matter where you buy it from, if it's from China, whatnot, but China for a very long time has been, what you call that in English? They did, like whenever you bought something from China, you were exempted. That's the word for it. Like China had a special trade deal where with like countries in the EU where you were exempted from having to pay additional customs and really high shipping costs. Because there was this like deal to try and like stimulate the Chinese economy, like from the 90s onwards, I believe. I think it came into place in like 1998 or something like that. That's why if you shop through places like YESSTYLE, or maybe if you shop through places like Temu and Shein and those kind of places, why you're not hit with massive fees. A lot of people don't realize that, but the rest of the world, like I've also ordered from Olive Young in Korea, and then you are hit with the fees because there is no exemption from Korea. But because a lot of brands and a lot of people, like a lot of places will ship from China directly, a lot of people don't realize that that's because of special trade deals that are in place for China. And it seems to be that, especially here in the European Union, they are going to add fees to packages, also if they're coming from China, starting this summer. Some of it was supposed to start this January, I believe, but that's been rolled back. And I'm not, like, there's different news. Like, I believe EU-wide, it's going to be a flat fee of like €3 per package, I believe. But then here in the Netherlands, they also want to add €2 per product in the package. So if you buy 5 mascara, it's only €2 extra plus the additional 3 for the package in the EU. But if you buy mascara, like 5 mascaras and an eyeshadow palette, different type of product in the package, you have to again pay an additional fee for that. That's what I've understood from our news broadcasts here of how it might start to work. And it could mean that ordering from places also like YESSTYLE, where I get a lot of my K-beauty stuff from, and Chinese beauty stuff from, for instance, it's going to be a lot more expensive from like the summer onwards, it seems. So even though Adept has now made that change, I would still recommend getting them through MONOLITH if you're in the EU, because yes, MONOLITH does add a little bit of extra on a lot of the products on their website, but that's because they have to pay the shipping and handling fees, so you don't have to. So I feel that if you were to order it straight from the US, then MONOLITH is usually cheaper or about as expensive if you also add their shipping and handling fees on top. But now Adept is saying like, oh, it's cheaper because we're in China. I'm like, yeah, that's only going to happen. Like, it's only going to help you for a couple of more months, because I believe from July 1st, this new EU regulation is going to be in place. So, not sure what it will mean. I'm not exactly sure. I'm just retelling you what I've seen written in the Dutch newspaper. Not sure if it's different in different countries, but it's at least here they say there's going to be a flat rate per package that's for all countries in the European Union, and the Netherlands is going to add its own tax on top of it. So, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. It's of course February, so we're going to get all of the Valentine's Day releases. Pinky Promise by Bella Beauty Bar and Deandra Nicole. This is the pink version of the purple palette they've already done together. And they're saying how much they complement each other. So if you already own the purple one that they did in the past with Deandra Nicole, it might make sense. Now, I don't love pink eyeshadow on me. It kind of, like, pink on my lips, fabulous. And there's actually a shade that matches my lipstick today in this eyeshadow palette I saw. But around my eyes, I look a little tired if I wear too much pink. So for me, these are not my shades, but I think that pink eyeshadow works really well if you have a deeper skin tone. So there's definitely a market for this. I'm very excited for this palette, but it's not quite right for me, so I will be skipping this one. And then I think I saw a lot of people talking about this. Marlena from Makeup Geek, if you remember the name of that brand, if you've been around the beauty community for a while, you remember that. I still have a couple of my Makeup Geek shadows. But she's it's not a relaunch because it's not called Makeup Geek. But she has a new brand. What's the brand called again? Oh no. House of Marseille, I think it's called. And there is this cooler, like, sort of pastel leaning palette, Le Mirage, that I think looks really pretty. But this eyeshadow, like, this brand is priced like a luxury brand. So it's quite expensive, I have to say. And yeah, but I am excited that Marlena is trying again, or Marlena, I don't know how to say her name, but that she's trying again and that she is trying to, like, launch a new brand again. I think there is a market for this for sure. But again, not really necessarily for me. Something that I'm weirdly excited for is the new Chanel Rouge Noir launch. But that's just because of nostalgia. Rouge Noir is one of the most iconic shades that Chanel ever did. And I didn't know it, but way back in the day, I started off loving nail polish more than anything. And I owned the 2000 version of the Rouge Noir nail polish that went viral. I didn't know it at the time, but I did own it. I decluttered it years ago because Chanel nail polish, it wasn't my favorite. It flaked and chipped really easily. So even though the color was stunning, I didn't get to use it all that much. But yeah, it comes with mascara and the lipstick, especially the lipstick, I would love to own. You can't tell right now because I'm wearing really bright lipstick on today, but I'm really into, like, these vampy deep reds. I'm really into my Revlon Black Cherry at the moment. And I'm really sort of, like, craving these really deep lipsticks. So this couldn't come at a better moment. But with this, I'm like, is it just nostalgia? Am I just, like, going back in my brain to, like, the beauty that is Rouge Noir because it's a beautiful color, a beautiful shade. And I'm like, I would love to see what that lipstick looks like on me so yeah, if they still have this, if I find myself in, like, a beauty store, which could happen tomorrow, like, if you're watching this, it would be yesterday, because I plan on doing a little bit of a walking trip tomorrow, so the day before you're watching this video, and it's going to take me through town, so I could stop off at, like, a Chanel counter and see if they have it and give it a swatch. I'm not sure if I have time for it. Maybe I'll just get tired and I just need to keep walking. Who knows? But I bought walking shoes, so I need to break them in. So I want to go for a walk tomorrow. That's sort of the plan. New Kiko, I think this is. Yes, this is the Kiko Milano collection for Valentine's Day. This looks okay. I mean, I'm just always underwhelmed by Kiko limited editions because as beautiful as they are beautiful. It's always like the same 10 shades that they rotate through. And I've been looking and trying Kiko Milano since 2016, I think, for about 10 years. So I've seen them rehash the same things over and over, which is why I'm not more excited for their limited editions than most other people are. Especially because when I first truly started to commit to trying more Kiko Milano, I've tried some of their limited edition collections and I would just blindly buy all of the new things so I could do a full face makeup look with it. And that's when I started to realize, like, oh, this is just the same bronzer in different packaging. Gotcha. So that's why with Kiko, I'm just not that excited for their limited edition collections. As I've also found that color-wise and quality-wise, plus price point-wise, because the limited editions are always a little bit more expensive than the regular range, that Kiko just really shines in their regular range and not in the limited editions. We have Givenchy. This is a new highlighter powder that goes into their Prism line. Yeah, this looks pretty, but Givenchy is one of those luxury brands where I'm like, do you really need it? It's one of those brands I have no interest in trying. Is there anyone here who like knows what's really good from Givenchy? Isn't that, Guerlain is the one with the bronzers. But yeah, the Meteorites, not my favorite. Yeah, is there anything else that you think is like a standout product from from Givenchy? Let me know. Now mixing up the brand as well. More new Chanel. It's not just the Rouge Noir thing, but there's also a new sort of like concealer type product. And then the Rouge Noir collection also has this like eyeshadow and blush palette. Oh, these are expensive. I'm not sure if I want to do this, but yeah. Chanel, it's Chanel, they have some good things. Not something I truly need in my life, I'm sure, but it would be fun to swatch it. YSL is extending some shade ranges in some popular products, in their lip oils, in their blushes, as well as in some of their lipsticks. So if you were still looking for like those YSL blushes, like I've swatched those in store and they look really beautiful, like formula wise. I'm like, but none of the shades they originally came out with really appeal to me. And still I'm like, not really my vibe. Even though they do now have a really pretty pale pink and this really beautiful fuchsia that I think with a light hand is probably one of the better options for me. But yeah, I'm still not entirely sure with the YSL range. It's like all so peachy what they have in there. Gucci has a cushion foundation. You know that something is trending when even these types of brands start doing it. You want a good cushion foundation? Don't go to Gucci. Because I can already imagine, like the floral design on the front just has me expect this to smell like the Gucci lipsticks, which, if you know anything about them, smells like a Gucci Flora perfume. Not like full on, there's a hint of it, but I don't need that sort of fragrance in my foundation at all. I will just stick to my K-Beauty cushion foundations, like this or the Unleasha Don't Touch Glass Pink cushion, and I'm like, the Unleasha every single time. Just curious. Oh, it comes in 12 shades at $64. Yeah, I think the Unleasha is like, what, 20? You don't need this. Oh, here are here's a look at the products from Marseille. I didn't know I had this picture as well. So there's 3 palettes. I believe they are like interchangeable. You can buy them as singles and you can fill your own palette, but there's also pre-curated palettes. That seems to be the vibe. Does it say here how much they are? No. Yeah, the palettes are the Le Mirage that I showed you before, which has iridescent and duochrome shades in, is $72. Yikes. For just 8 shades. To be quite fair, I think the Natasha Denona palettes are like, what, 65 euros now? And you get double the amount of eyeshadow. So, not sure I need this in my life. Catrice has a new Valentine's collection that's coming. I'm still testing out the new stuff that they launched as part of their biannual updates. So I'm like, yeah, and the new Essence products are coming out as well as we speak. I already placed an order with some of the products, but I will not have those like complete yet. So I'll do a video once I have all of those Essence products as well. There seems to be fewer Essence products than Catrice has. That's usually the case. But yeah, I'm going to have to, like, there was a lot in that Catrice video if you saw it this month, or in January, I should say. So, yeah, I don't need anything limited edition from Catrice anytime soon. There is a new Paris-themed palette from Nomad Cosmetics, which looks pretty. It's got these, like, pastely pink shades and some green tones in. This looks pretty, but I'm like, I've now tried the Christmas market palette from Nomad, and now, for some reason, I was like, I had this desire, this yearning to try more Nomad, and now that I've tried it again, I'm like, yeah, that sort of cured it. So, nothing else from Nomad currently on the wish list, so this one is not going to be added to it at all. This is not really my color story. So I wasn't sure how new this was, but this is the 12th Hour eyeshadow stack from Melt Cosmetics, and this to me is sort of like if the Rust and the Mary Jane had a baby, and then in a stack. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about Melt going back to stacks though, because I had a couple of the stacks and hardly used them, and they were very fragile as well, so like the magnets were so strong that it would break the shadow inside. So that to me kind of like put me off from trying it. So when Melt started doing palettes, I liked it a lot more. But when I spotted this on Instagram, I hadn't seen this yet. And I was like, ooh, Melt, you're driving me a little bit crazy. But I have the Mary Jane, so I don't need this. But I think if this is the same sort of formula that Melt does in their palettes, if you don't own the Mary Jane palette like I do, that this 12th hour stack may give you that vibe. It rather than like those greeny, like taupey things, bronzy golds that the Mary Jane has towards the left side of the palette, this seems to have some rusty reds in though. So there are different shades, but especially the neutrals in here, it seems to be a little bit lighter than the Mary Jane, but there are also shades here that I feel are very similar. So could be worth checking out if you feel you missed out. Oh, here's the Pinky Promise palette from Deandra Nicole and Blend Bunny Cosmetics with the color story. Yeah, this is pretty, but it's very pink, very Barbie, not for me. Rare Beauty, we have the Soft Pinch Matte Bouncy Blushes, another new Rare Beauty release. Not sure when this is coming. It should have been out by January 15th, it says here from Trend Mood. This looks pretty. I think it's going to be one of those like putty sort of bouncy blushes. So again, every brand on the planet is coming out with something like moussey, blurry, bouncy. It's like the whole new vibe. Whether you're going for the Maybelline Cloudtopia or the new or the Catrice one, I feel like the new Essence range actually has blushes that can dupe this. I hope so. But yeah, this looks beautiful. Again, something that if I see Rare Beauty in store, I would love to check out. I believe that this formula was already around and now they've just extended the shade range. But yeah, this is just nice. And it comes in a violet shade, so I would love to try that. There is a new L'Oreal cushion foundation. Yup, remember what I said about the Gucci cushion? Yes. And now L'Oreal also does one. So I'm like, yep, this is where we're going to go. Everybody is just going to dupe K-beauty brands all of a sudden, whether it's bouncy blushes or cushion foundations. I'm waiting for the BB cream revival and that every brand on the Western market starts putting out a BB cream. That's probably going to be next. So yeah, do I need this? No, because I still have 6 cushion foundations by K-beauty brands in my makeup collection, so I don't need this. And this is probably going to take aeons for it to get here, if we get here. But if you like trying cushion foundation and L'Oreal's a little easier for you to get and this product is available, then you might like this? I don't know. It doesn't say here how many shades it comes. Oh, 21 shades. Not a whole lot, but more than most K-beauty brands. That's true. That's true. I don't think I've seen a color story for this, so if I can find a different picture of this, I might just insert it here. But the Bleeding Hearts palette from Gourmand Girls, this is their Valentine's Day collection. I don't know. This is just one of those things. Like I've tried Gourmand Girls now. I've tried 2 of their palettes, and they were pretty, but it wasn't my favorite formula, so I know I will be skipping this one, regardless of what the color story looks like. REM Beauty is bringing out new quads. These are quads of eyeshadow. This is okay. I think REM Beauty is one of those brands that isn't super expensive that's at Sephora, so it's a really nice sort of like step up from like drugstore, but I've not tried any of the powder shadows from REM Beauty, because they did have palettes before. These little 5 pans. And these color stories still look very similar to what they did. So I'm not sure how new this actually is, or whether it's just like a re-promotion and a slight rebrand from a product they already had. Not so sure. Gourmand Girls has brought the Nightshade palette back. This was really, really popular a couple of years ago. Not sure we needed anything back. Yes, it's beautiful, but again, I really don't think that especially brands like this need to re-release things. Like when something's gone, it's just gone and it's fine. Colourpop has a Valentine's Day collection because, of course, they cannot be left behind. But this, I'm like, I quite like it. It's quite neutral heavy. From what I can tell from, like, I don't really have any swatches in this post. There's like one pink and like two pinks. And everything else is like a neutral gray leaning shade but it could be the pinky background of the palette, of course. But this looks pretty okay. But do I need another Colourpop palette? No. And we all know there is something out there now that I might like a little bit better. Something I am a little bit more excited for is that Westman Atelier has released new shades of their creamy contour stick. This is a product that's super duper out there, and so many people love it. I swatched these in store, and the shade Biscuit, which was the lightest one they used to have, too dark for me. And Westman Atelier, let me tell you, they're on a different level when it comes to their price point. They're quite expensive. So I was like, no, that's not going to happen. But they now have this like Olay shade and Toast. And both of these, I'm like, I might want to try those. So again, not something I'm going to try anytime soon. The only counter I've ever been able to find for Westman Atelier is in the Paris Champs-Élysées Sephora. I won't be there until like September, October time, so. But we'll give it a swatch when we see the brand in store somewhere, and then we can decide. This is something that Too Faced has teased. They came out with the Sweet Peach palette in 2016. Who remembers that? Yes, they're now teasing that in 2026 they're going to do something else peach themed. I'm not sure if Too Faced is just trying to make fetch happen still, but yeah. I don't know exactly what it is, but they seem to have some sort of promo picture of a girl with a peach, so. Not exactly sure what's happening there, but the peach palette was not my favorite, and it mainly had to do with that weird candied peach smell that it had. Like, the scent, like, a lot of these, like, Too Faced palettes had scents in them, which a lot of people are like, oh, it smells like cocoa! And I'm like, I don't need my eyeshadow to smell like chocolate. Please, make it go away. And then they did the peach palette, and it smelled like peach. But it smelled like Haribo peaches to me, and that was, like, I do my makeup early in the morning, and then when you open this palette and it's this waft of candy sweetness, I deliberately left that palette lying open flat for about a week just to get the scent to go away a little bit. And by the time I decluttered it, it still smelled. I just didn't like it. I don't think anything has to truly be scented for me to like love it. Tier is coming out with a new makeup stick. I already saw Robert Welsh reviewing these on his channel, so if you want to see these on, then, because he does get quite a few, like, K-beauty brands send him PR and stuff, so he's usually one of the first ones I see these products on. This looked really pretty on him. Do I need this? No. This just looks like any sort of, like, blush stick I already own, and the shades aren't really my vibe, so not going to be buying those. Milk Makeup is coming up with highlighter sticks, and these are the jelly formula that they already did in the stains previously, and now it comes in a highlighter. Yeah, I haven't liked any of these jelly stick things that I've tried, so let alone that I need it as a highlighter. Next, we have the Makeup Forever. This is a multi-purpose product. It's the Artist Liquid Color Matte. So I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be able to use this as like blush or an eyeshadow or as a mix-in shade or whatever it is. It does come in some fun colors as well. And I think it's one of those products that, yeah, like is really like meant for makeup artists to like do loads of things with. I don't really need this. Again, Makeup Forever is one of those brands where I'm like, yeah, they do some really solid products. Because it's such a difficult brand for me to get, I just never really know where to start with them. I've tried some things by them over the years, but not that much. Then Natasha Denona has a new gloss balm, the High Gloss. So this goes with the High Glam or whatever. It's this whole like high sort of brand thing. It looks more like a lip oil than a true gloss or a balm. So I'm a little bit confused. And the shades that stand out to me are shades I already have. They do have a really pretty cherry cola shade, but it seems to me like a brownie nude. Not sure I like that. So Again, this could be pretty. I would have to swatch this in store and find it somewhere to really be able to make up my mind about it. It's just not something I'm going to just buy blindly. Then we have more Natasha Denona. This is the High Blush, which just comes in some new shades. And there's this really nice, like, vibrant lavender pinky tone. Of course, I want to showcase that here. But as far as, like, is this, like, both creams? Don't think I need this. I've tried some of these, like, duo products from Natasha Denona that she's done previously, and I'm like, no can do. No can do. So this, again, this just doesn't make sense. I have no clue when this is coming out, but this is a reel from Catrice with more new limited edition stuff, and this time it's pistachio themed. Did we see those blushes? Yeah, that's so rare, beauty coated, but it all just comes in pistachio colored packaging. So again, I don't think I need that in my life. Now remember what I said about like Colourpop and their Valentine's Day collection looks okay. If I'm placing myself an order with Colourpop this year, which I'm probably gonna have to because I will probably run out of my Pretty Fresh setting spray sometime this year, but I'll probably pop this in an order. This is the Eclipse palette. I have the original Twilight palette that they've done. Eclipse is my favorite book of the entire Twilight series. That's the one where I feel like everything comes together, and just because it was popular, we also got Breaking Dawn, but for me the story really finished with Eclipse and then the wedding. So for me, Eclipse has always been my favorite one. And this kind of color story, if you see my haul on Saturday, you'll know. Because this sort of like gray with red sort of color story, we've been seeing a lot of it at the end of 2025. And I'm here for it. I'm like, yes. Do I love red eyeshadow by itself? No. But I think that with a gray to sort of like tone it down and like it can be a little bit more wearable, and this seems to be like a really good like option for it. I don't know. Again, not anytime soon. Like the Grimoire, it's gonna go onto the wish list, and not until I have other things I want to buy from the brand, and probably not unless I can get some sort of deal, because with Colourpop it is a little bit expensive to just have it shipped here willy-nilly. I really need to make it like a nice rounded order and get discounts for it to be worth it. So this is going to go onto the back burner. I will probably not be able to try this palette until next year, but because I usually buy Colourpop only in the Black Friday sales, and then it always takes Colourpop like 4 to 6 weeks for like until the package is here. So very often if I do shop through Colourpop, it's not here yet, probably when this year is over. But yeah, this is going to go into the wish list for sure. Some more Maybelline. They're coming out with some new powders, it seems. It's a loose powder. It comes in a pink, super trending. There's a banana shade, and there is like a bronzy sort of shade. I believe they're trying to like tailor to different skin tones and stuff, but the banana color is dark. It's very sort of like orange yellow. Not sure I like that. The pink could work, but again, it looked in some of the shades like it does look like a deeper pink. So I'm not sure that's going to go with my sort of coloring. But yeah, this looks good. I mean, the Fit Me powder from Maybelline, again, I tried it in the past. It was a little too drying for me, even the loose powder. I did a video all about powders the other week, and some of you were saying, like, I love the Maybelline Fit Me, and I feel that the pressed one is much more drying than the loose one. Both of them didn't work for me, and I've tried them. I used to own the Fit Me palette, or the Fit Me powder from Maybelline, and it wasn't a good look for me. Singe Beauty has a new launch, an eyeshadow palette and 4 blushes, and one of the blushes is a purple, so you know I like that. And that palette is the first palette done by Singe, but that makes me go like, ooh. This is really beautiful. I would love to try this. That periwinkle purple corner in the left hand corner speaks to me. Those tealy greens in the top row. I mean, I'm wearing teal eyeshadow today. So, and then those like rosy pinks. And then we have 3 deeper shades. I mean, to me, it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm not sure. It's called Succulent Dew. And then there's new shades of the Silk blushes. I think this makes sense for the brand. It's really pretty. I haven't tried Singe eyeshadow yet because none of the palettes launched so far were up my street. But this looks pretty. This is something I might realistically want to try. But again, not anytime soon unless it's sent to me in PR for some reason. More new Milk, a Hydro Grip Stick Concealer. This is actually making the rounds quite a bit on TikTok, and it looks interesting to me. I mean, it's a gel, but it's also in a stick. It's in the Hydro Grip range, which I quite enjoy. This again could be nice, but again, Milk makeup, not for sale here. I'd have to find myself in a Sephora. So probably not anytime soon, but interesting, yes. There is a new, is this by Fui? This is by Fui. This is a new lip liner and lipstick combo sort of thing. That's how it reads to me. It's the Lazy Lip and Liner Coloring Stick, and it comes in a bunch of shades. This looks really pretty. I believe, again, I saw either Robert Welsh or someone else on TikTok using this, and it looked really, really pretty on. It's really good for giving you like that sort of soft, blurry, defined look, and then just adding a bit of a stain in the middle. That's what this is really, really good at. So if you like that look for yourself, it's gonna work just fine. My lips are a little bit too pigmented for that look, so that's why this isn't really for me, but it makes sense for the brand. This makes a lot of sense for, I think, where a lot of makeup trends are going at the minute. So I like this release, but it's not for me. And then we have a new Blend Bunny palette. This is Diabla, which I believe is a collab with a tattoo artist, I think. And to me, it's like, this is the more colorful version of the Hunt Me palette. I mean, it almost has the same reds in my opinion. Again, like a neutral quad, and then a purpley pink quad, a grayish green sort of quad, another pinky purple quad, but deeper, and then blues. With a shimmer black, a matte black, a shimmer white, and a white. Yeah. Pretty? Yes. Do I need it? No. I don't know why. It's sort of like if Haunt Me and Beauty Below went and had a baby. That's how this reads to me. So it's not something that I necessarily need in my life. Because I already have those two palettes. So maybe if I combine my Beauty Below and my Haunt Me palette, then this could give me the look. Some new Wet n Wild. This is a Mother Fluffer Cloud Bronzer. Because, of course, we can do moussey blushes. We can do moussey highlighters. And then, of course, we can also do moussey bronzers. This is essentially the Fui pudding pot that everybody's duping now all of a sudden in bronzer shades by Wet n Wild. That's how this reads to me. Probably makes sense. This will probably sell. Do I need it in my life? No. A new palette from Cosmic Beauty. This is apparently a little bit smaller than their regular palettes is. It's the Angelic palette, and from what I've seen of it, it's pretty pastel leaning. Again, very much released in mind with Valentine's Day. I think also with like spring coming up. Pretty, yes, but as you will see on Saturday, one of the things that is new in is the Death Tarot palette that they released over the Christmas period. So guess what I will be testing out soon. Yay. There is a new Artitude Cosmetics palette as well. This is the Moonlight Muse. This is again really making the rounds on YouTube already. This was sent into PR. This was sent in PR to several creators. I've tried an Artitude palette now in 2025, and I knew when I tried it that it would be an instant declutter. Not because of the color story. The color story was beautiful, but the quality and the formula isn't exactly what I want for my eyeshadow palette. So I've now tried the brand, and a bit like Gourmand Girls, I'm like, was it okay? Yes. Did it wow me? No. So I'm going to be passing it on, and I probably won't be trying anything from this brand anytime soon, unless they do something that truly puts me in a trance and makes me go like, oh, I need that. Which this doesn't. Here we have, this one did put me into a like, oh, I need that sort of mood. Again, I'm not going to buy it anytime soon. I hope this isn't limited edition. This is the Beauty Bay Wonderscape 20 color eyeshadow palette. It is giving Blend Bunny Beauty Below, but softer. That's the way it reads to me. And this was teased all over my Instagram, all over my TikTok, and I was like, oh, that's so pretty. I love the design of the palette as well. It seems to be one of the first Beauty Bay palettes with plastic packaging. Really, really pretty. I'm liking this. I was like, yep, sign me up. That's something that I would very much want to have. So, yeah, Beauty Bay, I think, has a stunning, stunning job and a really pretty palette for sure. And with that note, we have reached the end of this video. I have talked you through all of the new releases that I was able to find. I'm pretty sure, because I'm filming this on Friday and I'm posting it on Sunday, and I feel like very often a lot of makeup releases are announced on Friday evening while I'm asleep. So if I've missed anything and you're like, hey, where's that going? I don't talk about everything. I also skip things because it doesn't interest me. But I try to keep it pretty curated, and then I'll come back in March, do this video again, and then I'll include anything that I might have missed now. If I do still come across something. Sometimes with my Instagram, things don't show up as quickly as it is released, I find. The algorithm is just not really helpful, I find. But hey ho, it's fine. So thanks so much for watching this video today. We have kicked off a new month with a new makeup releases. You can expect a couple of the old regulars going up here in February, so stay tuned for those. But I also have some new exciting things again for you in February. I did manage to film my entire makeup collection over the Christmas break period, so you can look forward to a nice little mini series in February where I will be showcasing pretty much everything in my makeup collection with loads and loads of swatches. So if you want to stay tuned for that, then I hope you would like to stick around. I do post 4 times a week over on this channel. If you want other things than makeup, like books, vloggy, lifestyle-y things, and fashion, that's on my other channel. So I also have a second channel called Floating in Books. The link is in the description box down below. So I post once a week on there, and then I'm on Instagram and on TikTok, so those links are also down below. So if you want to find me anywhere, you want to stay updated on things that I'm doing when it comes to content creation, you can follow me whenever, and then I hope to see you again really, really soon in a new video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.